Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
The countdown is on to San Diego Comic-Con. And we even talked about one of the Hasbro sets, what I'm just calling the Cosmic 5-pack for the 3 3/4 inch Legends versus the 6-inch Legends.
I think that's a pretty good moniker. Probably not too far off from what it might officially be titled when we finally do see an official response on this.
Yeah, I thought they either would go with something cosmic or possibly something with nowhere, since that's where the collector was in Guardians, and I think what we're getting here is basically the collector and a whole bunch of his prizes. But I actually, as I mentioned on the last show, ordered this from China. It had Howard the Duck. I just couldn't wait for Comic-Con, but we have these in hand, so we can actually review a Comic-Con exclusive a month before Comic-Con. So Justin, which of these 5 figures? We've got Lockjaw, Cosmo, Howard, Moonboy, and the Collector. Which one of these are you most excited for?
From a strictly figure standpoint, probably Moonboy, because I'm kind of interested in a completely new sculpt here. Over the last few years, we've been getting a lot of, over the entire course of Marvel Universe, we've gotten a lot of repaints and accessorized bodies over the same buck. So I'm excited to see something completely new sculpted with articulation.
Well, articulation is what you make of it. He does have very well-articulated hips, and he has swivel ankles and ankle rockers, strangely. You can rotate the wrists, and then he's got shoulders and neck, but no elbows, no knees, no waist.
Yeah, sounds a lot like that puck we were talking about when we first saw this.
Oh, and he's flocked.
He is flocked. That is the trade-off here. Remember the Panther from He-Man in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he feels like.
Nice. So don't mess around with him too much because he'll end up having bald spots like the Panther.
I can't pet him.
And the one I got does have a minor bald spot, like just a dot where he's not flocked on the arm.
Not flocked.
But that makes this figure so incredibly awesome. I mean, he's got ripped abs and pecs, but it's all flocked over, so it really gives him a furry appearance.
He has got amazingly large thigh muscles, too.
This whole thing, especially the face, has given me a Land of the Lost Chaka type of feel.
Yes, absolutely. It also looks a little bit like a Wolverine head that they just took a shrink ray to.
Overly happy Wolverine.
Well, if it was bigger, it might be toothy, like fangs. But he does have full articulation in the arms, swivel and rotate, and the thighs. There's, the good joints are there, but there's just not a lot of joints there. But the flocking makes him much better than I ever expected him to be.
That is impressive. I guess I had no idea or didn't even have an inkling that they were going to be flocking this. So that almost legitimizes this set. We could go through this whole set still not knowing for sure if this is from Hasbro and legit or not. But I think the fact that there's flocking on here kind of seals the deal.
I'm 99.9% sure this is legit. And I'll save the collector for last, but he's the reason. I mean, this is a standard Marvel 3 3/4 inch buck we got going on here. Could somebody have taken that, repainted it, mass-produced it, and created their own head? Well, sure, they could have. What are the odds of that really happening? It's very different than a different color Deadpool.
Yeah. What is happening to our hobby that we have to look out for fake toys?
After the Play Art Sky, my eyes have been opened. So, going through the rest of these figures, my one that... Alright, I've already bought 4 of him so far, counting the one in the full set. And counting, because for some reason people are breaking this apart. I paid $100 for all 5 figures, but now the collector alone is selling for $60.
Wow.
Huh.
Whereas Cosmo and Howard, for some reason, are paired up, and you can get the pair for like $15.50 shipped.
Oh, wow.
And so I've just been picking up a few of these.
You have an army of Howards.
Yes, I'm going to have an army of 2-inch non-articulated little plastic PVC statues. But nicely detailed ones of this portly little duck in his three-piece red
He's
suit.
got the old man belly.
Yeah.
It's cute.
There's some great sculpting going on there. I love the paint they did on him, the little brim on his hat, the red of his eyes, the detail of his outfit. But man, do I wish I could put his arm down.
Yeah. His little tail feather, too, kind of worries me.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of sticking out the butt there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what tail feathers do.
What?
Seeing how this is probably, I keep caveating this, a Comic-Con exclusive, would have been neat to actually give him a cigar to chomp on, right?
Yeah, but Joe Quesada won't allow cigars anywhere ever.
Why aren't cigars allowed?
Smoking.
Well, it's not really smoking. It's just chewing.
Smoking's bad, you know? Okay.
Give him a bubblegum cigar and let the rest of us paint it brown.
I still have the bubblegum cigars from the first Howard the Duck movie, the candy that they sold.
Gross.
I'm not eating them. But hey, it's a Howard the Duck in 3 3/4 inch scale. I guess he's asking for a tip.
Yeah.
The worst part is because he's not articulated, he's really hard to stand, and I find myself just kind of forcing to bend the rubbery plastic on his toes because he keeps wanting to fall back, so I keep trying to bend his ankles a little bit.
Does he have a peg hole?
No.
Oh, I guess it's kind of hard with duck feet, huh?
Well, they could have just slapped one on there somewhere. I mean, it comes to a point on the bottom of those feet, so...
Yeah, it's just like the toes are bent a little too far forward, so he wants to fall back. Joining him in the detailed but not at all articulated club is Cosmo the space dog.
But he's super cute. I love him. He's like in motion. He's little walking with his little spacesuit. He doesn't. Well, I guess he does stand. I'm just kind of worried he's gonna fall.
He reminds me of those toys you find at the dollar store that are just in a bin and people want a giraffe or a dinosaur or a dog and there's no articulation, whatever.
Yeah, if he didn't have a spacesuit on, we just got a dollar store toy.
But I like how his spacesuit doesn't cover his tails or his feet. Because apparently that's totally safe in space for dogs.
I do like the amount of detail and, sculpting they put into this space outfit.
Yeah, it's quilted like. It's got little dimples all over it. It's really... I was very nervous that I was going to just see dog hair painted white. But there's some padding on the back and...
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It almost looks like a paper towel up close.
A bounty paper towel?
It's the quicker picker-upper.
And they did do a couple of paint apps. There's a blue wash over the white outfit. There's a CCCP painted in red with a silver background. He's got the red collar, blue eyes, black nose. So they didn't cheap out on the paint apps. You just can't move a thing on him. And he's also a little tricky to stand.
I'm trying to remember when we first saw this. In my mind, he had a little clear helmet. Am I the only one, or do you guys remember that too?
Well, that was like his space helmet.
Yeah.
I never saw a photo of it with the space helmet because the photos we looked at were from the eBay auction I bought.
Maybe I just assumed it.
And as I got all of these accessories, I'm pretty sure that that's just not happening. Then the third figure, which there's definitely a little articulation here, is Lockjaw, and he is huge.
He is. At first, when I opened the package, I thought you had bought a horse. Oh, and his mouth is articulated.
Yes, he's Lockjaw. His jaw opens and shuts. Now, it does not stay shut, but you can push it shut, and then when you remove your finger, it falls open again.
So you can make him talk. Hello, Arnie.
He's even got that gross dog mouth where the pink of his lip meets the black of his outer lip.
I know, I couldn't believe they painted that.
Yeah.
Too much detail, Hasbro. Too much detail.
At least there's no red rocket.
But there is a little bump down here.
Oh, his testicles.
Now, I did get this, straight from China, so I don't know if the final production version will be like this, but there are some weird paint splotches on his belly. But he does have, I don't know if it's supposed to be, but one leg is articulated insofar as I can move it like 1/8 of an inch. I can wiggle it.
Well, I'm guessing that's just, the seams of how they put this together. I don't think it's supposed to be articulated. I think it's just the puzzle piece that went there.
Yeah, but he's got a really good paint app. I mean, you mentioned the gums, but there's a nice black wash over the brown of the body. Once you get below the haunches, there's not a whole lot going on. But in the face with the eyes, there's whites of the eyes, then blue eyes, then the pupils, and a blue to white on the horns of his head. But somebody asked if he could be to scale with Legend. I know he's supposed to be a giant dog, but I have him standing next to, like, Namor. He comes up to Namor's waist.
Well, that's about as big as, like, a St. Bernard would be.
Yeah, so depending on scale, and as we've talked about, they always draw him different scales, but at 3 3/4 inch, he is pretty much as tall as the Collector.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to everybody to decide what scale they'll allow in their own collection, but I could see it going either way, being good for 3 3/4 inch or even a 6 inch.
And his mouth is big enough, you can really shove a finger in there.
Oh my god, Arnie.
Or a duck.
No, Howard's hat is too big.
Oh. He comes with some doggy toys.
Well, I did have to do some research. Thanks to one of our Facebook page members, they told me what all this is. We have 3 little accessories from the Collector's Collection, although I still think all of this is from the Collector's Collection. We have this little green rubber thing that honestly feels kind of foamy, but they did a nice job of imprinting like a circuit pattern on it or something, I guess. But that is the Zodiac key.
Okay, it does look like the shape of a zodiac.
This feels like it's the prototype for it, though, or like a non-production. Like it would be what you make the mold out of. You know what I mean?
I've thought that about a lot of Hasbro's weapons recently.
Oh, okay.
Just a more soft, pliable type of plastic.
Yeah, virtually foam.
So yeah, it could be a chew toy. The other one definitely looks like a dog chew toy. It's got a middle part and it almost looks like a bone.
That is the Wand of Wutum.
That's not a wand. It's not a wand of anything. It might be a blunt object of Wudun.
It's like a little barbell for Howard or something.
There you go. It's a barbell with horns.
Oh, and there's little faces on it. On the circles.
Yeah, like Strong Bad.
And this third thing, I was sad it doesn't open, but having just over on Star Wars Action News reviewed the Takodana 4-pack that comes with the little chest, I thought this little chest might open. It does not, but it is made of a nice solid plastic versus that thing's rubber. This is the casket of Eternal Winter.
So they put winter in here? I'm confused.
If you open it, I guess the gopher sees his shadow.
Got it. Well, it's a good thing this doesn't open then, huh?
For such a little piece, though, I am impressed with the amount of detail they put in here. They've got like an organic, like lattice type of effect that almost seems to show through to another layer behind it, and little skulls of some sort on the edges.
Yeah, and a little skull clasp. That's why I thought it might open, is it has a clasp.
Well, if you open it, it will be an eternal winter, so...
Yeah, let's not open this.
Maybe it's the solution to global warming. And then finally, we get to the only actual figure in the thing. I mean, I suppose Moonboy is kind of a figure, the way Rocket Raccoon is a figure on a 3 3/4 inch card. But we get to the Collector, and he is a well-articulated body with ankle rockers and everything. And I ask, do we need a super articulated Collector?
Right?
Of all the figures to articulate.
How else are you going to go? I just did the Collector's little hand motion there.
Nice.
You just didn't see it because, internet and all.
No, I'm glad to see them using this good. I want to say this is Marvel Universe body. We didn't get anything this great in the Infinites line with the double hinged knees, but now I'm looking at his arms. Those are Infinite Series arms with the single hinged elbow, no bicep articulation.
Yeah, he's got just enough articulation to make it a pain to stand him. I'll put it that way, because the joints are all over the place, and he came shipped to me in a baggie, for crying out loud. He looked like he was doing yoga stretches when I took him out.
You know what I'm seeing here is pieces and parts that could make up a 3 3/4 inch Doctor Strange in the future.
That's funny because when I opened it, Arnie told me he's looking for this Collector figure, and I'd opened some of his boxes yesterday. I'm like, I didn't see the Collector figure. And then all of a sudden he said something, he said something about a dog. I'm like, oh, wait, I thought there was a horse, which was Lockjaw. And I said, it came with Doctor Strange. And I thought that was Doctor Strange. I mean, other than the hair, but maybe it was the later years, I guess? I don't know.
I think you'd probably change out the cape, because the Collector has this very specific cape and belt. But yeah, with a different caped head and belt, Yeah, you got Doctor Strange.
It was his cape that made me think that, with the high collar and stuff like that.
Perhaps, but I think Doctor Strange usually has a more shoulderific cape.
Oh yeah, coming over the front a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulderific. Yeah, so it looks like we don't even get any lower arm articulation, no wrists, because it's all just one big glove
Yeah.
that ends up going directly into the elbow.
The head sculpt on him's nice, though. He looks very much like creepy old man. I mean, with the wispy hair and everything.
He has tremendous hair. There's tremendous hair sculpt on that figure.
Yeah, there's some hair putty going on to get these little tips.
Yeah, he's got cool guy tips, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be in the sculpt because there's not a whole lot going on in the paint department here. I mean, you've got, looks like it's cast in white plastic, then with a flesh color for the face, and then a little bit of black for his mascara or raccoon eyes.
He does not have a good primer.
Almost looks like he needs another coat of paint to give like some lip definition or some cheek definition.
Yeah, you're right. That's the thing about him. He has no lips. But then again, when you get old, your lip color kind of does fade.
Stop making excuses for the collector.
All in all, I'm very excited for the characters in this set. Howard, Cosmo, Collector, Lockjaw. I'll be honest, I wasn't that familiar with Moonboy. But all the rest of it's very exciting. And damn, somebody did their research to figure out what accessories to include here, because these are deep. But it's easy to get excited about the characters they chose, because you'll never see these on a regular peg. You just wish, like, if they were gonna make one Howard and one Cosmo, they'd have given us something in the way of articulation. But it is, like you said in the previous show, Justin, just a lot like that Deadpool taco truck.
Yep. And a lot like that Deadpool taco truck, this set feels like it's missing one additional regular size figure, whatever that would be, just to round it out. Because right now it feels like one figure and a bunch of kiddie toys. Even though they're cool characters and well done, I feel like one more figure would put this over the top and make it a great set.
Yeah, Moonboy straddles that line, though. He's really a second figure there.
True.
I think what I would really want out of this, though, I mean, I've already bought it, and I've bought several Howards, and congratulations to our current Podbean backer of Stoof, a Cosmos coming your way well before the con.
Stoof paying off.
But I want to see packaging as cool as the taco truck. Like, I want to see all of these things in cages behind the collector or something. I want to see something that I do not want to ever open.
Yeah, that's really what I'm hoping for too, because there's not a whole lot of enticement for me to pop this out of a package and mess around with it, since not much of it moves. So I'm really hoping that the packaging is what makes this thing really sparkle.
And hopefully we'll have some confirmation about this in the next day or so. Maybe even before the show is out, I'd hope. But I'm not holding my breath on that.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.